Hey guys, it's Chris from Smithy Finance, and this is your midday market report for June 17th. So, lots going on. The markets are concerned about war in the Middle East, and we've got oil going up a lot. We've got gold is actually down a bit, but silver's ramped big time. Markets in general are lower. We've got the Dow off 280, NASDAQ down 162. And crypto is very weak today. Bitcoin down 4.25%, but we got Ethereum down about 7%. XRP down 7%. Solana down 7%. So we're pretty weak. Now I want to talk about a few different stocks today where we're seeing some action, and there's some good lessons about trading and maybe some opportunity here. So stick with me for a few minutes. First of all, we had Reddit had a pretty good move this morning and is still strong. So I've talked about Reddit a few times. Let me just get it up here. Yeah, I've talked about Reddit a few times. It's a really interesting stock because it's got a huge following, very, very popular, right up there with Facebook, but they haven't been able to capitalize on making money. But they are making progress on that. And today the stock bounced all the way to 146. It was only maybe a month ago that it was downgraded, if you remember, and I was buying at 105, 100, and 95. And here we are. We saw some real movement this morning all the way to 146, as I said. It's currently about 136. I was a seller this morning, sold a little at 133, a little at 140, a little at 146, and now I've bought a little back at 136. So this is how we trade. You got to take advantage, be selling into the good news. The good news is basically they've got AI is starting to build up their advertising, and anyway, the market was very bullish on that. I really like the stock. I think it's got a good future ahead of it. It's not cheap at current levels, but the potential is massive. But I'm a trader, and I'm going to trade these spikes higher. Like I said, I bought some back at 136, and I've got a bid at 130, and I'll bid a little bit lower again to buy back what I've sold. So that's Reddit. Now let's talk about a couple of gold stocks. Equinox EQX has made a big acquisition in Calibre mining, and there's been some pretty serious insider buying. Now I subscribe to INK Research, INK Research. I've subscribed to this since like the year 2000, so it's close to 25 years that I've been subscribing to this service, and it's very helpful as a trader. Insider buying is it's not infallible, but it's a very good clue. Insider selling is common because you sell for many different reasons. Maybe to buy a house, maybe to fund a separation or divorce, maybe to buy a sports car, whatever. But when it's a buy, when it's insiders buying and they're already long and they're buying more, that's a really good signal that the stock may not go up tomorrow, but probably within the next 2, 3, 4, 5 months, it'll be higher, and that's why the insiders are adding to their positions. So it's quite interesting, and we've had quite a lot of buying, including Ross Beatty, who is the founder and CEO, chairman, I guess. He bought 110,000 shares at 877. We're at 860 right now. This is a big company. There's, I don't know, 500 million shares outstanding. They're going to produce somewhere around 800,000, 750 to 800,000 ounces this year, and ramping to 1.2 million ounces, I gather, over the next 2 or 3 years. I haven't done all my work, so don't quote me on that. 4 years ago or thereabouts, I did a video on Equinox, and the stock has gone nowhere. It went down, and it's probably lower than where I did that video 4 years ago. So I think it was at 9.5, and now we're at 860. So I bought a little bit yesterday. First time I've been long the stock in quite a while. and I'll probably add to that position, but I'm watching it. But yeah, insider buying is a big deal, and I do recommend Inc. research, especially for the Canadian stocks. Now, we had another one, West Red Lake Gold, WRLG. I've been in this one here and there. I trade it big time. I had sold it, bought some back. I had some open orders, and I got filled this morning. The stock gapped down, and they had a death at the mine. One of their workers underground died. Man, mining is tough business. I see this quite often with mines around the world. Somebody dies, they shut the mine down, they investigate why, do whatever they have to do to repair the situation, and eventually, like a week later, they'll reopen the mine, and life goes on, and it's tough, man. But these stocks, the stock opened lower on that news, and now it's starting to climb back up again. This is just the way it is. So when you see this sort of bad news, that is a time to buy. Sounds cold-blooded, but this is what we do, because the world will continue to turn, and that mine will continue to employ thousands of people, and they'll learn something from the death, and supply the family with compensation as best you can, but then move on. So that's West Red Lake. Now silver today hit a new high, the highest it's been since 2011. So 14 years, we're at 37 and change US. That's really good for the AYA, which last week, as you know, they did a financing, the stock gapped down, and now it's starting to climb its way back up. They raised 125 million or thereabouts, and right now the stock's at 1332. I think the financing was at 1335. The stock did trade all the way down to 13 even, and we're up a little today. So it's okay to buy. It is definitely, well, in my opinion, it's going to go higher. This is again not not investment advice. This is just what I'm doing. Do your own work. You know the story. But with silver at 37 and probably going higher, 40, 45, 50, it should get there in the next year or so. AYA will really benefit, and I suspect the stock will go back to the old high, which was close to 20 just last fall. So that's AYA. And oil. So we've got oil at 74 and change, which is a good move on oil. This is directly because of the war in the Middle East and what's happening to Iran. Rumors of the Straits of Hormuz being closed down. I doubt that happens, but it has boosted oil a lot. We're up 280 today at 74.56. Baytex is 290 or something right now, and Saturn Oil Soil, which is my top pick, is about 215, 217. They're both, look, you don't really want to buy it on a day when it's up $3. You want to buy those stocks on a day when oil's down $3. If there's some peace or negotiating overnight, we'll wake up tomorrow and oil will be down $2 or $3. So it's not a buy today, in my opinion. I'd rather sell a little bit into strength, and I do have an offer on Baytex at 295 Canadian. It's at 289 right now. We'll see if it hits it. And Saturn, I'm not a seller right now, 215, 218. I think that's got quite a bit more to go, but I'm not buying it here either. So, the world is just full of chaos, right? It's just ongoing. Something always happens. Try not to freak out over these headlines. Generally, the market can handle anything. And, humans being humans, we're all aiming for growth to improve our lives. And this just keeps businesses growing and innovating. And it's worth staying optimistic, but, not reckless. Let's put it that way. All right, that's all I got for you. Hope you're doing well. I'll see you in the next one.